What's up, everyone? My name is Adine, and alongside my beautiful wife Melinda, that one right there, we are Hustlin' Hooks. We are full-time resellers. We primarily sell anything that we can, that we find thrifting, garage selling, etc., online for profit. And in this video,
we are actually going to talk about how your kids can use eBay. If they are around, grab them, sit down with them. We're going to talk about all the benefits that you can give them, teaching them how to make their own money working from home very early on.
we're going to talk about how easy it is for them to get started with your help. They just need your help, your guidance, and you can stop giving them allowance money and teach them so many life lessons so easily. Right now, we're just doing some packaging of orders from yesterday. So Melinda's packing up 2 pair of Carhartt. These are just simple button downs. We found these at a garage sale for $3 each, and they sold for $25, free shipping each. So we'll make about 12 to 15 bucks on those. I'll talk about those 3 in the back and give you real life examples, but I wanted to just quickly mention this one too right before we get it packed up. This is a simple J. Crew 100% cashmere made in China sweater. We found it at the Goodwill bins, and if you don't know what that is, we have videos about it for sure. Someone paid over $80, and this thing is shipping to Australia today. Melinda, why did you pick that up when you saw it?
One, I talked about this before, the label is a black J. Crew. If you see the J. Crew with 2 dots, it's the mercantile, it's the factory, it's oversaturated. This is actually from their store, and it's 100% cashmere in a classic style. So cashmere is a great material to look out for, especially with better known brands.
These 3 that I'm going to talk about, I'll break down exactly how much money your kid could be making selling such basic things, right? Your kids have video games, your kids have toys, and your kids definitely have clothing around the house. Let's break those 3 down really fast. The first one I want to break down really fast is this No Man's Sky Xbox One video game. It's just a video game. Video games are really fast sellers on eBay, and you can easily look them up by typing in the actual name for that system, or you can even scan them with the eBay app. This game sold for us for $20 with free shipping, which means that we're going to pay shipping. We're going to use this recycled Amazon padded envelope, put a little bit of padding on it, put it in here. We're going to measure it, weigh it, and then print the label. That took me about 12 seconds to pack up. It's a recycled package, so I'm just going to put the new label over this one, bring it over to my scale and weigh it. It weighs 3.4 ounces, so we'll round it up to 4 ounces. You can get a scale like this off of Amazon for like 15 bucks. Over on eBay, I'm going to click purchase shipping label. It's going to ship first class because it's light at 4 ounces, and I'm just going to simply measure it, which I've already done. So this is going to be 12 by 6 by 2. So 12, 6, 2. That's how easy it is. Hit enter. It gives me a quote, $3.33 for USPS first class mail. I'm going to purchase the label. It's going to deduct that from my eBay account. Once this label generates, all I'm going to do is hit print. We use a thermal printer, but you don't have to start with a thermal printer. You can simply start with a basic printer that you get from Goodwill and then just cut the label out. This is my brand new label. I'm going to get it on here, and this is ready to ship. Same thing shipping wise for these 2. This one just requires a little bit of a bubble wrap, and this one doesn't require anything. It just requires a bag. So now that I've done that part, the label cost me $3 and some change. It sold for $19, and after roughly 10% fees, I'm going to be left with roughly $12 to $13 in profit, and that money can be used to make more money, right? Here's the rest of the packages going out today. Obviously, we do this for a living, so we ship quite a bit daily. The next one I want to talk about are these BKE or buckle jeans. BKE is a mall brand. You can find this stuff at thrift stores all the time. This specific model is called Tyler, and it sells pretty well. These are pre-owned. We found them at Goodwill for $6, and they sold on eBay for $48 with free shipping. Shipping jeans is really easy. You just put them in a flat rate envelope or a padded flat rate envelope that you get for free from USPS.com. So all I'm going to do is put them inside here. It's flat rate, so I don't have to weigh anything or measure it. Put them in, put a label on them, and be done. Let's see how much money we're going to make off of this pair of used jeans. We already said that we paid $6 for them, so that's our cost of goods is $6. We're going to get them over here to the table. Here are the jeans. We're going to purchase the shipping label. Again, shipping with flat rate envelopes is great because all you have to do is hit the carrier package, go down to padded envelope. It's going to cost us $8.49. So we'll add that to our expense, right? $8.49. That's $14.49 into it. They sold for $48. That leaves us roughly, what, $34-ish? After fees on 48 bucks, 10% is roughly $5. So we're going to make roughly $29 on this pair of jeans. We can take that 29 and we can now make more money off of it by getting more inventory. If you find a bunch of dollar items at a thrift store or a garage sale, that's 29 new items you can resell on eBay. The last example you can find at a garage sale. This is a little bit beat up, but it is a vintage piece. It's from 1992, which I know doesn't sound very vintage at all. It does work. We popped in the battery, so really easy to test it. We're gonna just pat it a little bit with bubble wrap, put it in this free USPS priority box, and let's see how much money we'll make off of it. So here it is, I bubble wrapped it. I'm just going to use some free recycled grocery bags. I'm gonna crumble them up on the sides. I'm gonna do it a little bit better with both hands. Who would have thought that working with two hands is easier? So there's my padding, this one goes on top. I'm gonna close it up, tape it. Let's see how much money we will make after shipping and fees. You can also do calculated shipping. You don't have to do free shipping. We have a whole video talking about that if you want to go check it out. It'll make it a little bit easier on your kids, I believe. This sold for 35 bucks, so nothing too crazy. Again, we're gonna purchase the label. We put it on the scale, it's 2 pounds, 13 ounces. So we're just going to type that in. 213, the box is 12 by 12 by 8. Hit enter, it's gonna give us a quote. $8.71 to ship it. So it sold for 35. Let's do some math real fast. So it sold for 35. We're gonna round it up to $9 in shipping. We paid $1 for it, so that's $25 left. Fees, 10% of 35 is roughly 4 bucks, so that's $21 left, right? So $21 profit on a used ambulance from a garage sale. Obviously the math that I just did is very rough. You can actually go inside of eBay and find out exactly how much you paid in fees. But it's just to give you an idea of how much money your kids can make pretty quickly, pretty easily with very common items. Mona's gonna jump on next. She's gonna show you all the things that you need to start up your eBay business or to help your kids start up your eBay business. And trust me, it's not very expensive and you can get a lot of it for free.
I'm going to cover some of the things that you are going to need at a bare minimum to start your eBay business. As Adine mentioned, most of these are free and I'm going to walk you through what we use. First and foremost, you're going to need something to ship your products out in. Depending on what you ship, if it's just clothing, you're probably fine with just bags. You'll probably want some boxes though, at least for shoes, if that you're including that with clothing. If you move into other categories, of course, you're going to want boxes for those things as well. Here are where we keep our most used boxes, which are the 12 by 12 by 8. We have the padded flat rates and the regular flat rate envelopes that we do use for jeans. And then these are the shoe boxes. Those are all from USPS.com, delivered straight to our door and were free. This box we received from our neighbors, as well as many boxes that we have like regular deliveries of, just from telling our neighbors what we do and asking for packaging materials. That is obviously 100% free. There's no reason you necessarily have to spend any money on packaging to sell things online. If you are going to be shipping some more delicate things or some heavier things, you will likely have to buy bubble wrap unless you can find a source where you can get it in plentiful enough supply. We use American Bubble Boy. It's very affordable, one of the most affordable options. We can link that below, but you can also find things like the brown packing paper and other packing materials on eBay, on Amazon, anywhere. You just start with a basic Google search and then look at your price range for that. Here's what we use every single day: a tape measure to measure our packages, and then this is a scale. This is a very inexpensive scale. We found it on Amazon. You can find a similar model. They're very affordable, so not much really goes into that cost. And we also use a thermal printer. Now these vary in ranges depending on the model and brand that you get. You can shop around and find a very affordable one though, including on eBay. If you don't want to get a thermal printer, you can use a regular printer and just print them off, but you will be using tape to tape them onto your labels then. So if you already have a regular printer, that will work just fine. Don't worry about investing into a printer if you don't want to right away. When we first started, we did not have a tape dispenser. It's not necessary. However, it does make your life easier and more efficient. And again, as with everything else I've talked about so far, very affordable. They do not cost much. We have gotten several packs of 2. We went from a smaller size to now this bigger size, and maybe like $8. And then of course the tape that you buy is affordable. You just shop around. Again, just use Google, find an affordable option. This is our setup. We do not use fancy lights. I know maybe you'll see people using fancy lights. These were on sale at Walmart. We have 3 of them to light our space. This is just a tablecloth and then an art board that we got from Hobby Lobby. There's a lot of different ways you can work your setup. I do recommend getting all white background, whatever you use, because that'll be better for search terms. The last thing is, of course, space. You'll have to work out somewhere where you can store your things, whether it's just a very small store where you're just pulling from your room. That's a great option. You'll have to work that into a livable working environment though. Of course, your phone as well. I do assume most of the age range of children who are going to be starting their business will have access to a phone at least. So you can do pretty much everything from your phone. That's how we list, it's how we source. If you already have a phone, you're set as far as that goes. Everything else, it's just bells and whistles. You can get a fancy photography station, you can get a fancy camera, you can do lots of other fancy things, but if you're not sure if you're gonna like it, or you're just looking to make some extra cash and you don't wanna put a lot of money into starting this up, it's perfect because you can do it so cheap to make basically unlimited amounts of money.
I'm going to take just a couple of minutes to show you how easy it is just to use a cell phone, which a lot of teenagers have these days, how to look something up to see if it's worth selling and how much it sells for. 3 easy examples that you can find almost anywhere. Vintage records are one category you can teach your kids about. This is a vinyl record. I think this is probably 80s, maybe as early as 70s. There's a date on here somewhere. I don't know off the top of my head, but it's the Best of the Animals vinyl LP. So you can simply open up your eBay app. Anyone can do this. You don't need to have an account. You can go here and you can just type in the Best of the Animals. So let me do that real quick. In the search, I just typed in the Best of the Animals vinyl, and I'm going to go ahead and click the search button. It tells me there are 121 results, and you can see some of the prices that they're listed for. And of course, they're not always going to be the same thing, but you can see that people are asking anywhere from $14 plus shipping, $15, $16, $12, $27, and so on. I'm going to scroll up all the way to the top. I'm going to go to my filter. I'm going to come down to show more. I'm going to go to the sold items here, and I'm going to show 112 results. And recently you can see this record is sold for $10 plus ship, $7 plus ship, $9 plus ship, $15 plus ship, $21 new, $9 plus ship, so on and so forth. You can also go here and sort by the highest amount to see which ones are the most valuable. And brand new is definitely selling a little bit more. So you can go to filter. You can change the condition to used. And again, we're sorting high to low, and these are from the United Kingdom, so they're going to be on top because of shipping. But there's a copy that sold for $30. There's a copy that sold for $25, $25 plus ship. If you see this crossed out line, it means that somebody took a best offer, so they took a little bit less than asking. For this one, we're probably going to list it around that $15 to $18 free shipping mark because it does have some blemishes. It does play perfect. We already tested it. So there's $1 into 15. After fees, the kid's gonna make about 12 bucks. They can reinvest it. This is a PlayStation 1 game. If this was a black label, this is a reprint. It's green label. It's worth a little bit more. It's Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I got this for less than $1 at a garage sale. Let me show you how much old media and some old rare video games can sell for. All I'm going to do is click the photo button on top, and I'm going to actually just scan the barcode So your phone becomes a barcode scanner, and you can see, wow, some of these are $500, but they're brand new or they're graded. So we're gonna change the filter settings to condition used. 71 available. Look at that. These are the asking prices by highest. We're gonna go with best match to see what's out there. There's some auctions going on for 100, 35, 175. They're kind of all over the place. We're gonna go ahead and go to the sold comps again. And you can see that recently a copy sold for $100, free ship. The black label obviously sells for a little bit more. It's more sought after. But even with the green label, there's one that's over 155, 130, so on and so forth. This is a rare game. That's why it commands such a high price. Obviously, it also depends on the condition of the case. It depends on the condition of the booklet. And this is actually a brand new resurfaced disc that our friend resurfaced for us. So we're gonna ask a little bit more than a beat up version of the same game. So there's one, obviously a very sought after game your kids can find. It's gonna be harder to find them, but they're out there. We found them. You can actually check out, if you go to our YouTube videos, you can see the video we found this one in. And then third, we sell a lot of used shoes. That's right, used shoes sell online a lot. This is a Jambo brand. We paid $6 at our local thrift store. Let's see how much they're worth. If you look in the back here, it actually gives you the name. These are the Jambo El Dorado. We paid $6 for them, and let's see what they're listed for. There's some a little bit higher, a little bit lower in the teens. Some are up in the 30s and 40s. We're gonna go to filter. We're gonna see what people are actually paying for it under the sold comps. There's one pair that recently sold for $10 plus shipping. Looks like this model isn't too popular, but it's also winter time, so it might be a little bit slower seller. These are worth anywhere from $25 to $40 plus shipping. So again, pretty easy. Your kids can find these at thrift stores all the time. Shoes are a little bit more of a volume game, and you definitely have to be careful with condition and style and all that good stuff. We have sold shoes for as little as $20 plus shipping and up to $150 plus shipping, just depending on the rarity and the style of the shoe. A little bit of a pro tip for video games and vinyls and electronics. You do want to make sure you can test them. Otherwise, if you're not able to test them, you need to disclose that in your listings. But all we have to do now is take pictures of this stuff, create a good title, take good clean photos, and get it listed, and just wait for someone to buy. That's how easy it is. Melinda already talked about the setup and how cheap it was for us to set it up. We've sold over $250,000 off of this super cheap setup. So definitely your kids can make a lot of money doing this from home, and they don't even have to do a background like this. They can take pictures on the carpet. They really can.
Besides money, there are so many benefits to doing this at a young age. Obviously, you know, you get extra cash, you can put it towards school, you can put it towards fun stuff, you can do whatever. But let's go over some other things that you also get as a side benefit. One of those is your relationship with money. You're gonna value your dollar more. You're gonna spend it wisely. You're gonna realize like what things are worth. That is an invaluable skill to have, because you're just gonna grow that knowledge and grow that skill. That's gonna come in handy for future business opportunities, just how you approach anything money related when you're buying a house, when you're buying a car, anything.
And as you're teaching your kids these skills, you know, as soon as you can teach them these skills, the earlier on, the higher the probability is going to be that they're going to be successful with money as they continue to grow. And like Melinda said, make really good decisions when it comes to buying your first house, etc., etc.
A shared interest is huge. We know that as kids grow older and they gain their independence and they have, you know, other things to do, this could really be a way for you guys to do things together. It'll be a shared thing that you're both working on. Maybe you decide you're only going to source once a week because teenagers are busy, so you go out in the mornings on Saturday and you hit up the bins together. That's just something that you're building in that you can do together, and that is priceless. Time with your family, no matter what you're doing, is priceless.
For sure. And the other thing too, as far as starting this up, you can lend them some money, so you can teach them about interest rate. You can lend them a little bit of cash for startup. As Melinda showed you, you don't need a lot. As I've given you examples, you know, we've spent on those three items that are worth roughly, what, $150, almost $200, $175 roughly. We only spent $7 total. So you can really have your kids start with a very low budget and then just keep snowballing that money into more and more inventory as they get better and better at doing this.
Also, independence and self-sufficiency, it's key. This is something that they can always fall back on if they choose to just put their money towards paying for their college tuition because they have a dream career. Well, 10 years down the line, let's say maybe they're laid off due to unfortunate circumstances. This is something that they can fill in to pay the bills with if they needed to, or do on the side for if they have like an extra home renovation coming up. That skill will never go away. So that is just great to have a backup plan always.
And e-commerce isn't going anywhere. Year after year it increases. So, you know, if your kid's 12 or 17, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So they can definitely do this for the rest of their lives. And again, the sooner you get them started, the better you're gonna be off because you're not giving them money, and the life skills they're learning are just invaluable as they just continue to blossom as teenagers and young adults.
We also always want to instill in our kids, you know, hard work as a virtue. The idea that things don't come easy to you, that you have to work for them. This is a really great way to instill that, but at their own pace, because they're going to earn more money. That's their incentive. It's totally on them. So if they work hard, that's a skill that they will have. I think can be a learned skill, and they are going to reap the benefits of that, which can be sort of hard to think of a way to do that with your kid. You know, you can give them an allowance, you can try to tell them the value of hard work, but this is something tangible that's directly related to their actions.
Just teaching them this, giving them that independence, giving them that knowledge. Like I mentioned when I told you the quick breakdowns on how much we made on those 3 items that sold, teaching them how to reinvest money at a very young age is crucial, right? So yeah, here's your allowance, it's 50 bucks. Okay, I'm gonna go buy the new video game. Okay, or hey, let me teach you how to do this. You made 50 bucks, take 25 reinvested, take 25 and treat yourself and make more money after that $25. Like that skill is so crucial. As anyone in this world knows, the best way to make money is to make your money work for you, and reselling is a great way of doing that.
Right, and it might not be instant gratification, which is another great thing to learn.
Yeah,
you know,
patience.
Exactly, patience. It's going to take a little bit of time for them to get a store off the ground, but it'll pay off in the end. When they get that first sale, they're going to be thrilled. I
mean, we're thrilled every time we make a sale now, right? As grown-ups, you know, it's just fun. I just peeked at the phone. There's some sort of message on a $600 unit I just listed. So maybe someone's going to make us a really awesome offer. And, you know, you might only find stuff that's worth 10, 15, 20 bucks, but to a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 16-year-old, it's a lot of money, right? So they can just stack that money and just keep going. You don't need any sort of special account. You don't need a business account in your bank. They can do all of this with your guidance. You as the adult will open up the account and provide the shipping address, set it up for them, and then just teach them those skills of how to get the stuff ready for the market and how to pack it and so on.
It's just so many benefits to starting this when you're young. I wish I had known about it when I was in high school. I really do. I mean, I liked being a server at the time, but there are just so many headaches I probably could have avoided. And I mean, I could have written my own hours. My whole life course could have been different, knowing that I could have made this much money working from wherever I wanted to work.
For sure. We really hope that you guys share this with your friends and family. I hope you guys show this to your kids. You know, we are oversimplifying some of the things, but really it is that easy. I mean, there are some things that are a little bit harder to grasp, like taxes, but at the end of the day, taxes are pretty easy. You're taxed on the net income that you make, and you as the adult will have to pay the taxes, but you would just take that away from your kids' total earning. And of course, you just tell them like, look, 25% of this is going to the tax man. So once you earn your first 100, you only have $75 to reinvest. And now you're teaching them about the tax system, right? So again, another life lesson that a lot of people fail to have early on in their childhood.
What else can we say? I mean, I can't think of a lot of cons to doing it. I really can't. So hopefully you out there listening, I mean, if you're a reseller watching us, this is probably something you're already planning on doing with your kid, but maybe you have a brother or sister with a kid who's maybe even as young as our little girl. She's just 2, and you want to kind of plant the seed early of, hey, this is something to look at in the future. You know, if you guys kind of get your feet wet, this is something you can teach them.
Right.
Or, you have a favorite neighborhood kid, or you're a school teacher or something
Right.
like that. I mean,
Right.
working on eBay is a great alternative to other things that teenagers can get into around that age.
Yeah, for sure. The other one thing that I want to mention really quickly is like where to get stuff from. So Melinda already mentioned the bins. If you're not familiar with that term, it's basically where all the Goodwill donations go if they're overstocked at the Goodwill stores or if they don't sell there. Garage sales, estate sales, those are all places that you actually have to spend money. But I'm going to give you a little hint here. A lot of people in your family love your kid, right? Grandparents, uncles, aunts. You see where I'm going with this? Neighborhood. So instead of giving your kid a lemonade stand and having them make 25 cents per, cup that they're selling over the summer sitting on the corner, go door to door in your neighborhood and say, hey, my kid is starting a resale business. They're wondering if you have any donations for them, old shoes, old clothes that you would be willing to get rid of for my kid to start their entrepreneurship at a young age, right?
Right.
Or family, of course.
And if you live in a state that recycles, I know a common thing here around like sports, like booster fundraising time. Michigan, you get 10 cents per can. So we call them returnables. If you live in a state like that has it on the top of the can, they can go door to door and they can get their startup money, taking cans into Meijer. Right. So there's a lot of different ways to get your startup costs too, if you as a parent aren't able to fund it.
Right, and I think honestly, I would say rather than you giving him a loan, I like Melinda's idea better because it's gonna make them do something that they don't want to do, like knock on doors and collect cans, right? Make that quick startup money, but it's gonna teach them another life lesson of how do I get a startup budget cheap so I can get my dreams in motion, right? So I think that's a really great opportunity to teach.
And while they're there, they can just ask for their stuff.
Exactly, they can do both. Hey, I'm looking for cans to donate and I'm looking for anything for you to resell that you guys might want to just get rid of. I am here for you. I can come back and load up my, tricycle or whatever teenagers have.
Yeah, and for some families and some communities, giving them the tools to make a solid financial future can be generationally changing. $500 for a lot of families in America makes a huge difference per month. So imagine starting someone young enough where they get the money in the bank. By the time they're having kids, they've built a whole business. So it's just, again, opportunities endless.
Yeah, for sure. Let's make this video go viral, right? Let's show everyone. Let's show our, church community leaders. Let's show our friends, our neighbors, our family. Teach your kids young. The better off they are now, the better off everyone's going to be in the future. And this is one great way to give them the best Christmas gift of their life, teaching them how to resell. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really hope you enjoy the content. Subscribe. We have tons and tons of very informative videos that your kids or you can watch to learn how to do this from home. And we'll definitely catch you guys on the next one.
Take care.